Welcome to Stars Podcast. Through self-defense, mixed martial arts, nutrition, family, and all things in between, we share our journey of how we hack our mind and body to get the maximum return out of each day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the journey. Hey guys, welcome back to Stars Podcast, your growth mindset mecca. This is your host, Ron Jordan, coming at you from Rocinante Studios in Slippery Rock, PA. Permission to come aboard and aloha. It's the first day of school of our 9th grade year of high school. What are you wearing? If you're anything like me, that outfit was picked out as soon as I was home from shopping for clothes. I was lucky for that first day of school, in that I had clothes for the beginning of the year. The clothes evolved from Osh Kosh Overalls to rolled up sweatpants to ripped jeans to bootcut jeans to mock turtlenecks. Leather jacket with a pop polo. Listen, the trends were the trends and I was up on it. Usually. Throwing back and reflecting, I was really into fashion in my looks. Now I wonder if that was a normal thing or if it was a me thing. I'm on this thought train because Brene Brown, Dax Shepard, and Tim Ferriss. There was a show Brene puts on, it's called Unlocking Us, and they started talking about identity. I stopped listening right then because I was hot on the trail of what I wanted to talk about today. We spend a lot of effort on being, on message. Everything we do in the day is shouting something at the world. Dr. Lynn Damhorst is a research scientist out of the University of Iowa, and she has found a lot of data points regarding clothing and our ability to be part of a team's success or failure ultimately. It is fascinating in the brief time I've spent with some of her work. However, I've lived through some of this, and maybe I was a little naive when I was younger, or possibly even now, but I know how someone dresses impacts how I'm going into the conversation. Now, that being said, I forced myself to check that part of me internally before I actually start interacting and talking with that person. Because we've all been there where we were wrong on our first impression after we got to talking to them. Now, I want them to add value today, so I'm not going to cut them off just because of their appearance. There are a few reasons why, but crazy enough, sometimes the person is dressing in a foul way because they want people to stay away. They want people to be put off by them. That is often a response to trauma. When I was working with sexual abuse victims, they would really have a difficult time with making themselves clean. They felt if they were dirtier, then nobody would want to touch them. I've also found the same thing with body weight. They felt the more disgusting they were, that the less likely they were to be further abused. They would literally be forced to shower for health reasons. How sad. What we are throwing to the world outwardly is a direct reflection of your internal dialogue or monologue in the mirror. Are you looking in the mirror anymore? That just jogged a memory for me. For a while, when I was unhappy with myself, I wouldn't even look in the mirror, or I'd get really close to the mirror and just stare at my eyes. I always thought my eyes were cool anyhow, so that was really the only thing I still enjoyed about myself at that time, I guess. Dark times. Now, the person that you bought all those clothes for, well, they're not the person you want to be anymore. You want to present a new message in a new package. You have invested so much time and money in that other person. You need to change, though. So, now what? Or maybe you invested so much time into the new person you had built up, but you had a slip up. Maybe you cheated on your diet, missed a deadline, missed a meeting, missed jiu-jitsu practice, swore again. You name the thing you slipped on. That doesn't mean you're the old person again just because you slipped up. You don't start over from zero every year like I do on fiscal. We need to give ourselves permission to make mistakes. We're going to make them. They need to be built in. Give ourselves 3 strikes or something. I don't know. Make it creative for you. But listen, not too much because we can get sloppy about ourselves, but enough that we can achieve our goals. We often make our targets unattainable, or we overshoot what we think we are able to do. It's a nasty trick we play with our goal setting if we do not put safeguards in place to account for it. We wouldn't spend our whole paycheck on cheese, would we? We safeguard against that by saying, if I transfer more than $100 from here to there, I want my wife to get a notification from the bank that a transfer is happening so she can stop sale on my cheese payment. The same goes for identity and goal setting. There were obviously mistakes that were made to get us to a point where we needed to make a change, but the sunk cost was not steep enough, so we decided that it was fine to move on and start a new project. Also, do not lose sight of the idea that the old you is valuable. It is a valuable resource to keep with you. Think of it as Marie Kondo. You're Marie Kondoing your brain, and the stuff you have to deal with now is neatly rolled up in a cardboard box and labeled, stuff I don't need right now, but I might need someday. We cannot take everything about that old bus, but we can take some of the good. And when you make those mistakes, remember, we just need to roll up that shirt again and put it back in its box. It might take a day or two to get it done, but we have that built into the system. I'm calling this permission to come aboard in aloha. I've never been to Hawaii, but aloha means hello and goodbye. Our self is like that, coming aboard in aloha sometimes in the same day. However, we need to keep the old and new separate sometimes. Have you ever watched a bridge being built? The teams will barricade the waterway and allow an area to exhaust all of its water to start building the bridge foundation. This is a lovely process and fun to watch in a time lapse, and as you know, I'm a sucker for time lapses. We'll need to take these same efforts during transitions. We need to put up barricades as we do work downriver. Permission has to be built into our identity. Permission to be who we need to be for the better of our community. We need to be healthy. That starts with respecting ourselves. We need to have permission built in for that respect to be also built in, but not to the point of sloppy. Again, this is going to happen and not cripple our process because the new project, it's just one shirt unrolled. It's okay. We knew we were going to mess up, but we're not messed up because of it. Hashtag enjoy the journey.
So the journey has begun. If you guys listening to our content today had any kind of value or you were moved in any way, please feel free to subscribe, pass it on, let everybody know that these two guys are the truth. They're out here just trying to do good things to make good people. Thanks.